Hello YouTube, this is Rick Black Rifle from North Augusta, South Carolina, coming to you today, and I have a question and an answer for you. Okay, the mass shooter in the mall, the man had to fire 10 rounds to put down the shooter from 40 yards away, which is a pretty good shot, you know, from 40 yards. He took out that shooter and killed him. Do you carry enough ammo? That's my question. I carry my EDC. I carry a Springfield XDM 9mm with a 4.5 inch barrel, a TLR6 laser sight / flashlight here. See the laser sight, you got the laser, then you got the flashlight and laser, and then you just got the flashlight only. And then back to the laser. There you go. So I carry that. My firearm also, as you can see, it's empty for your lurky-loos out there. Anyway, I installed the big dots on here, the XS big dot sights. I love these sights. That is a great sight. There are tritium sights. You got a tritium post, and then you got the big dot here with the tritium center in it, and the outer ring, it glows in the dark. So they're real nice. It's a real nice sight. This is a combat handgun. This is a very effective pistol. I've killed hogs and coyotes with this pistol from up in a ladder stand. They go by 25 yards away, and I've blasted them. You know, I've put thousands of rounds through this pistol, and it still looks basically brand new. But I carry it loaded with the Monolithic hollow point, and I cross load it with the Novex Extreme Defense self-defense ammo. The ARX is another ammo that's made that's just like this. This is a plus P load. It leaves a 4-inch barrel at 1740 feet per second. It's a 65 grain projectile. So every other round in my 19 round magazine is loaded with one of those. So every other round is a barrier penetrator, which this Novex is a barrier penetrator. And it penetrates deep into tissue and flesh too. It makes a hell of a wound. And then the self-defense ammo, the MHP by Norma, is a 108 grain hollow point that leaves the barrel at 1312 feet per second. And they open up just like that star there, and you could look at the gel on there. I carry a minimum of 5 mags, okay, 1 in the gun and 4 on the belt. So that's a minimum of 5 mags. It's 19 round magazines. And then I have also an additional 35 round magazine, and I carry the Hornady 124 grain Extreme Terminal Performance hollow point. It leaves the 4-inch barrel at 1175 feet per second. So it's just supersonic, but that hollow point really opens up and it performs well. Okay, that's what I carry. I'm prepared for an active shooter. When I'm out and about, I have this 20-shot pistol loaded, and I carry it in a secure holster, you know, something with a thumb brake on it or anything that'll hold it securely in a holster or in your belt. I carry it both concealed, and sometimes I carry it in the open when I'm doing the nuisance wildlife control. But for the most part, I carry it concealed. We could carry either way in my state, but I like concealed because no one sees me. I stayed a gray man. I don't wear a hat that advertises firearms or a shirt like this one here. You know, these grunt style t-shirts, you know, got the flag, and that screams I'm armed. Okay, I don't wear that. Just wear a t-shirt and jeans. So I'm the gray man out there. You don't see me coming. And that's how you got to be with these active shooters. They're going to look for you, and chances are they're going to be in a place where they have no firearm permitted sign there. You know, that's terrible. That's an invite. So I try and stay away from those places that prohibit firearms. But when I'm out and about, I'm armed with this. This is a lot of firepower, and I'm well trained. 20 years in the infantry. I have used a handgun to take out the enemy twice in combat. 20 years apart though. But you must be prepared for that situation. A lot of policemen, they're not prepared. I mean, they got 2 magazines, 2 on the belt and 1 in the gun, and they got a 15 round, say, Smith & Wesson Shield or a Glock or something that's only 15 rounds. So I think you should carry enough magazines to repulse a active shooter. I've got over 100 rounds on me. You know, do the math. 5 times 19 plus 1. And then plus 35. That's some serious firepower. Prepared. Now, I don't wear a bulletproof vest or anything like that, you know. I did when I was in law enforcement. I did in the Army. You know, it really wasn't bulletproof. It was more of a flak jacket. But that's it. Being prepared is 90% of the gunfight, of winning that gunfight. That kid had to fire 10 rounds. What happens if he had, if the guy come after him, he's got a 30 round magazine, or say he had a 100 round drum in that AR? Did he have enough firepower to suppress his fire? Do you carry enough firepower to suppress that kind of firepower? I think I do, and it's something to think about. And I'm always watching, always looking. Be on the guard, be vigilant when you're out there and you're carrying a concealed weapon. And people, I know one of you lurky-loos is going to bring up the fact that this round might go through somebody and hit somebody else. That's doubtful. Okay? Not many people, innocent bystanders, are hit by a bullet passing through somebody else's body. Okay? It can. I'm not saying it can happen. It can. But that's just the nature of the beast. Your objective is to get home alive and survive and protect others. That's what an American does. They go to gunfire. They don't run from it. That kid had more courage than all the police officers in Parkland, Florida, and Uvalde, Texas, and in Cheshire, Connecticut, while police stood by while the people were murdered inside. In Cheshire, Connecticut, a woman and her 2 daughters was raped and murdered while the cops stood by outside. Everybody fears something. Nobody's fearless. I don't care who you are. Everybody gets afraid of something. Jumping out of airplanes, getting shot at, or shooting back at somebody. Everybody has fear, but overcoming that fear is called courage. Okay, when you exit that door of that aircraft, that's courage. Okay, suddenly your fear, anybody tells you they're not afraid to exit an aircraft at night with 200 pounds of equipment strapped to them is a bullshit artist. They're full of shit. You're scared shitless. Okay, so you just do it, and that's called courage, and that's what makes heroes. Okay, that boy was a hero, that 21-year-old boy. I call him a boy because I'm over 65. I'm a senior citizen, and I'm old enough to be his grandpa. Okay, so yeah, he's a boy, but he's every bit a man too, and he had more courage than all of those police officers. So having courage is the ability to face your fears, and that's what courage is. And when you face them in extreme dangers like that, where you expose yourself to fire, enemy fire, with no concern for your safety, that's heroism. Okay? So without fear, there could be no courage. Without courage, there could be no heroism. So there, all three of those things combined make heroism. This is Rick, Black Rifle, off the soapbox, and just, how you doing? I'm glad you're doing all right today. And it's another day above ground. God is great. But this is the question you have to ask yourself. Are you carrying enough ammo to repulse an active shooter in today's society? This is Rick, Black Rifle, and I put the pictures at the end of the different ammo that I use, and everything. So if you want to buy this type of ammo, you can go out and buy it. But this is what I carry. This is what I recommend. This 65 grain will go through 2 car doors. I've already shot a couple of car doors with it. Shot a couple cars in the junkyard, and it goes right through them. Burns a hole right through the mechanism and everything. Goes through the upholstery, goes right through the car, right out the other side. Same with the trunk. If you get a flanking shot and somebody's behind a car, you shoot at the trunk, and it goes right through both of them quarter panels. Penetrate right through it. So when you take cover behind a car, you want to get behind a wheel well. A wheel well is where all the metal is, where there are things in there that will stop a bullet. Okay, through that little sheet metal, a door is not going to stop a bullet, but that wheel well will. You got a tire there, you got a steel wheel, you got a brake system, a hub, a disc. In today's cars, most of them are all discs. I don't see a 9mm penetrating a disc from a disc brake, or a wheel, an iron wheel, or even the rubber in a tire. That tire is pretty stout. It will stop a round, slow it down at least, but it's got to come through a lot of metal. The engine compartment, that's a protected area in a car. If you take cover in a parking lot or something. But this is just some of the questions that a lot of people bring up about carrying ammo. How many rounds is enough? I don't think a 15-round pistol with 2 15-round magazines on the belt is enough firepower. A lot of policemen, that's all they carry. That's all they have. They don't have any spare magazines. So you might want to consider that. The minimum that I carry is 5, and they're 19 rounds each. And the XDM Elite And I think that's a 22 round magazine, so you get a little bit more ammo. But I recommend a high capacity magazine, and that's why. That's why we shouldn't limit magazines to 10 rounds. You may need that firepower. You may need those rounds. Yeah, you could change a magazine pretty quick. But can you do it under fire? You know, this is 19 rounds. I'd have to change the magazine twice for the rounds that I have in here. But that's why I'm against magazine capacity. I believe the right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed upon. And that includes round capacity, suppressors, everything that goes with a firearm as an accessory. And it shouldn't be against the law. To the law abider. To the permit holders. How would you feel if you stood by outside and cowered out there and all them people died at the hand of that shooter in Uvalde? I couldn't live with myself. I couldn't look anybody in the eye. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. It's a disgrace. A disgrace to the profession of law enforcement. Cowered outside. Cowards! Yellow-bellied cowards. They should have went in. They had enough officers there. They could have went in. Suppressed that guy's fire and killed him. But that's your duty as a law enforcement officer. Take out the evil. Protect the community. Serve the community. You're a selfless servant. And yes, your job is dangerous. You knew that before you joined. And there is a such thing as fear. But overcoming that fear is critical. Vanquish fear and panic. You have to vanquish fear and panic to survive. That's part of one of the survival traits. The V in survival stands for vanquish fear and panic. Suppress it. That's what courage is. This is Rick, Black Rifle from North Augusta, South Carolina. Y'all have a great day. God bless and bye-bye.